First of all, I want to invite here our Belgium Cossack. Yeah. He's been following the full-scale invasion since day one. This year, he started helping out at a Belgian-Dutch organization, and just this month, took part in his first aid effort, assisting with loading and uploading, right? Yeah. Yeah. So, another round of applause, please. Next, I want to invite Francis from London. He works as a biologist. And in 2022, he realized he couldn't just watch and do nothing. So together with his partner, they signed up for the UK's refugee scheme and began contributing to Ukrainian organizations like Come Back Alive. And he's been supporting Dzyga since 2023. Another round of applause, thank you. And last but not least, we have Jonas from Sweden. This is the man who kindly treated you to his fudges, French fudges, right? And now he lives in the very south of the Sweden after 35 years in Stockholm. His connection to Ukraine began in the late 80s when his favorite Swedish football team signed Vadim Yevtushchenko, yes, a legendary Ukrainian player. In 2004, a friend adopted a girl from Kharkiv, and during the Orange Revolution, Jonas protested against outside Ukraine's embassy in Stockholm. And since Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014 and the full-scale invasion in 2022, he's closely followed events in Ukraine. And he supported Ukraine for following reasons, which he will name later. Okay, so the Q&A will be held as following. I will ask you some questions that we prepared beforehand. If you feel like answering, please take your mic and do that. And later I'll ask the audience if you have any questions, and you will be able to ask our guests. I will start with the first question, and it is, how did your journey of supporting Ukraine begin? So who would like to start?
Well, you already answered it for me in a way, but it's like...
Can you just go
oh, so, yeah, okay. No, but it was like, this is so wrong. And the first 10 years, or 8 years before the full-scale invasion, it was always on my mind, but I didn't do any monetary support or anything. But when the invasion started, it's like, no, this is so wrong. And because it's not only about Ukraine, it's about, I want a rule-based world order where every country decides about their own destiny, and not that larger countries can say, you do like this, you do like this. So that's one of the reasons. We can come back to the two others. Yes.
Sure.
Thank you. I think for me it's about supporting democracy and fighting authoritarianism. And I was very disappointed as how the Western governments responded in 2014. And when it happened, I would say again, but at a larger scale in 2022, with a friend, I decided that I just had to do something. And so with my partner, we said at least we can welcome someone in our home from Ukraine. And I decided to also find some organizations I could support. It didn't start with Dzyga, it started with others, but then I progressively got into that. So
Thank you.
Here I am.
Yeah, I would really like to add, like, this is between right and wrong. You just not can invade and like in another country just because you wanted to, like you want to keep it in its influence. Every country has its right to go where it wants. Like, for example, if there's a country, I'm just saying, like, when I come from Belgium, if we were like, yeah, we don't want to be part of the European Union, okay, then we're not a part of the European Union. But the thing is, like, everybody can decide for their own, and Ukraine has chosen this path to Europe, like in 2014. It started like with the revolution on Maidan, and I was also like baffled by the fact that the Western media did not report it like nowadays. nowadays you just open Twitter, Facebook, Blue Sky, you name it, and you just can see what's happening. And I wish the West had was a little bit earlier. I'm not going to say the party because I don't find the right words now, but I just hope they will open their eyes sooner because they know about this. They know about the Kremlin gremlin, as I call him, and his plans to invade other countries like Sakartvelo and in the Crimea in 2014. So I'm just, baffled by the fact that they just now opened their eyes, like in 2020, because they, we just want to open Nord Stream to Germany for Russian gas. And I'm baffled by the fact that they just, close their eyes for the aggression of the Russian population.
So thank you so much. Moving from that, this is so interesting that you come from different background than Ukraine, and you can easily close your eyes and don't care about the war and live your happily lives in your country. So the question is, from your perspective, how do people in your country view the war in Ukraine today, given that the views and the global trendings are decreasing for the war? How do you think people view it, and have you noticed any change in public support over the years?
There's really now Palestine is on the agenda in Belgium, what I really noticed. And also it's for people, it's like a kind of part of their own bad show. But I tell them, you go to vacation or holiday in Turkey or in Spain, do you know how far away that is? And they said, yeah, that's not far away. And I said, Kiev is closer than, for example, Istanbul. We need to support this. We need to support Ukraine because that's only the right thing to do. Because imagine these people coming to our region, like it happened in 1914 and 1940. They did. They invaded Belgium twice, and we were so lucky that we got this aid from other countries that now we have to return favor to other countries in need.
Well, I think in the UK, the public opinion has always been very supportive of Ukraine. Whether materialistically that's enough or not, it's not for me to say, but I don't think that support has gone down. If you ask people, I would still think it feels for a lot of them just very far away. It's not concrete.
I can say one thing about Sweden. We have 8 different parties from the left to the right in parliament. Every party supports Ukraine. There's no discussion. All the packages sent to Ukraine is supported 100% by all parties. So that's good. And
That says something.
yeah, that says something. But I know there are people who they don't care. But most people in Sweden want Ukraine to win because they know what's going to happen if Ukraine doesn't win. So.
I would like to add something about that. Because in Belgium we got this party, the Communist Party. I don't have to explain this in Ukraine, but we got this party and their only interest is Palestine. And if you look at their tweets, there's nothing about Ukraine, and that's really shameful. For my part, they just can be banned as a political party because I think they are just only there to provide Russian disinformation to the public in Belgium.
Well, thank you for your answers. And the next question is, what motivates you personally to donate to Ukraine, to support Ukraine in donations? Who would like to start?
I would say maybe as someone who has no tech background, no military background or anything, it's maybe the easiest thing to do. It feels like a moral duty, really.
You now have a shooting background. You did the first time shooting today.
Yeah, so my colleague here told, money donations are the most easiest way. Because if we do not help you today, who will help us tomorrow? Like, we are a small continent. We are like one of the smallest in the world. And we have to stand together against this aggression. And if there's like a way we can help also Ukrainian defenders defending their homes, their lives, their children, in this way, then we just have to provide them with anything that's possible.
Well, there are two reasons for me. First of all, it's what happens if Ukraine loses.
Yeah.
Putin is not going to stop with Ukraine.
Yeah.
In Estonia, in the city of Narva, which is next to Russia, there's a Russian majority of the population. How would they react if Russia comes? We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, there's a personal reason. My mom, sorry. It's personal. My mom was born in Potsdam, outside Berlin, in 1931. Her mother was Swedish, so she was lucky to be able to leave Berlin or Germany before the war ended in 1945. She sat in shelters, bomb shelters during the war. When the war here started, she said, I don't want to do this ever again in my life. I'm going to kill myself if the war comes here. So, sorry. When I see these 5-year-old kids here, I think they're, in 75 years from now, it's going to be the year 2100. They're going to be 8 years old. They're going to have scars from this war 75 years from now. So it's personal, but it's also thinking about these people that are kids now. So those are my reasons.
Well, that was really touchy. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I would like to ask you, how did you learn first about Dzyga? And what made our foundation stand out before many others?
Yeah, that was also on Twitter. I was looking through some mutuals with Dimko, and he was tweeting about everything he does. And I was like, okay, I have to follow this guy if I want some news about Ukraine. And then I saw some fundraisers. I was like, okay, and he was very transparent about it. I was like, okay, I will donate a couple of bucks, what I could then miss at the time. And I was like, okay. And then he also showed the pictures when he delivered the goods. I was like, okay, this guy is legit. I'm not throwing just some money into a money pit. No, jokes aside, he's very transparent, and like you can see where the money goes to. You can see the pictures, some videos. There's a lot of information about where the money goes to, and that's really something I admire, because it also takes a lot of time, but it's also like the perfect example of how organizations should be organized, like very transparent and open about what they do and where the money is going to. That's not always the case, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think the transparency aspect is really important, and it's one thing that drove me. But I was trying to think, when was the first time? And actually, I see there's Rich here right in front, and I think what happened one day is that you were asking for funds for a drone, and then Rich said, like, if someone funds one, I'll match it with one, and I took him up on the offer. And then you confirmed that he'd followed through, and so sort of, okay, well, let's do some more.
Nice, thank you, Richard.
It cost me money.
Well, a friend of mine turned 50 a couple of years ago, in 2023, sorry, and I sent this postcard from UA postcards to him, and then I got this invitation from Christian Ludwig, who you might know. He organizes travels to Sweden, from Sweden to here, and I got an invitation since I had sent this postcard. So I thought, well, yes, I must go. I must go. So we came to Lviv, and then first day we went up to the, what was it called? It was on Easter Monday, and on the Tuesday we went here, and when we went to Dzyga, it was just the arena there. Yes. I cannot say how impressed I was by Irina. I cannot say it was like, and I was thinking, she's 25 years old and so intelligent, so competent, and knowing what she's doing, and I felt I had collected about $3,000. So I immediately sent like $1,000 then to you. And then I decided, well, this is an organization I want to support, because she showed us everything, and I could see when I transferred money, I could see it like instantly. That yes. So that was like, I was in love with the organization. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's really sweet. And next, I want to ask you, now when you are here, how do your family and friends respond on the fact that you are going to Ukraine, to the war country? Because we have many episodes when our supporters are banned from going here because of their loved one are really scared for that. But that makes sense, right? And how do your relatives support you, and what do they think when they heard that you are coming to Ukraine?
To be honest, I didn't tell all of them. I will tell them afterwards. I think it avoided me some trouble first. But no, my partner was very supportive, understood why I was doing it, and yeah.
That's great.
But
Thank you.
I try to explain a bit of the context to my friends and do a bit of soft advocating, if you want. I've got various items in my living room that people see, and then they can ask questions, and it's a good introduction.
Thank you.
Well, I quite fast wrote that I was on Facebook. I had almost quit using Facebook, and then I thought, well, I'm going to Ukraine. I'm going to meet these organizations. If you want to help me to, I try to collect money through Facebook. So everybody knew.
And how did they react?
Well, some people, oh, isn't it dangerous? Yes, but this is something I just have to do. It's
Admirable.
yes.
Yeah, my parents think I'm crazy, but that's because I'm a little bit crazy, but that's okay. But they're very supportive of me going here, and also my friends are very supportive, and I keep them posted like every day what's happening. And I think some people all on Instagram and on Twitter are like, oh, this guy is like posting like 10 or 20 messages a day, like what the hell? But they can unfollow me if they want. Like I just want to be like showing them what's happening in Ukraine, and if they don't want to see that, they just can unfollow me. No hard feelings there, but that's who I am, and that's who I'm going to be. So if they don't want to be a part of that, then that's their problem, not mine.
Thank you again. And do you speak with your friends, your colleagues, or your family about the war and what foundations you support, or anything like related to that?
Yes, so like I said, I keep them updated on everything that happens. And you got this, I made this meme, like, you know, like I forgot like the name, but this horse, like outside of the castle. And it's like me in every conversation, and then Ukraine, like I talk about in every conversation with my friends about Ukraine, and also with my colleagues. So they already know that. But like I support Dzyga's Paw, Frontline Kit, I support. I'm part of an organization called Heart for Ukraine. We delivered last week some aid to a hospital north of Kiev. I was the first time I was delivering from A to Z the aid, like loading the truck, getting the parts, like everything, and we delivered there the aid, and it was just admiring to see like how grateful these people are. Like there were like these two ambulance jackets, but like from Belgium, and they were like so ugly green, but we used that like okay. And they were like laying on the grass, this one guy comes up to me, like this guy from the ambulance. I said, like, can we have these? I'm like, yeah, that's why we brought them. Oh, thank you, thank you. And he could not stop for 5 minutes talking about just these two jackets. I'm like, and we are like nagging about something small that happens. Like for example, when I drove here from Kiev, I've blown almost my tire and it needs some patching. So I was like, oh shit, now I lost 20 bucks on it. But yeah, we just nag about like 5 or 10 euros back home, and they're just happy like with the smaller things in life. Like that's really admirable to see, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think my friends know very well. I don't post much on social media, but I've turned the shelf into sort of a mini museum because you sent some objects with descriptions, and so every time people ask, okay, what is it, then that gives me the opportunity to talk a little bit about the little I know about Ukraine, yeah, I distribute like memorabilia and things around. I think it's. My friends have often asked me like why I was doing this, and I always appreciate the question. But maybe the struggle is sometimes, people are uncomfortable with funding defense, and there's a shift in mindset that I think is difficult for people in Western Europe. Is that, well, you can't fight an invasion with nice words, and so yeah, you have to do a bit more.
Well, I just write on Facebook. When I meet friends, I don't, well, if someone asks me, of course I talk. But also there are friends like saying, oh, I know this woman who's helping kids in Lutz, outside Lutz, and she needs help, and so I help her, and he helped her with, when you drive from European Union, you have to make a tax declaration or custom declaration. So he does that for her for nothing to support her. But no, I don't talk about it unless someone takes it up with me, except that I write on Facebook.
Yeah. That's also a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you again for your answers. And right now I would like to ask audience if you have any questions. Yeah, I'll give you the microphone.
Hello, guys. Thank you for your assistance to Ukrainian cause. The question is, in Belgium, UK, Sweden, do you feel that there is a Russian clause of propaganda in your country, and probably the situation shifting somehow in pro-Russian positions? And if so, how much time do we have until your country will become Russia supporters fully?
I will answer this for Belgium. It's true, we have this communist party, but also this very nationalistic party like Vlaams Belang. I don't know if you guys know it. The great thing there is there's a cordon sanitaire, as we call it, in Belgium. So the parties will never rule with them. Like Belgium politics is like this. You got 5 political parties. They have to work together on this topic, and every one of them, I'm telling you, every one of them is pro-Ukrainian. Like some are a little bit less than others, but they all support Ukraine and their sovereignty over Ukraine, and also that identity. So the next election, and if I remember it correctly, this will be like in 2028 or 2029 if everything goes as it goes now. So in time-wise, I would say we got at least another 4 or 5 years or even longer, because Belgium is world record holder of government forming. Like, we've been without a government for like maybe half of the time, so there will be no drastic, like no immediate shift in Ukraine stance in Belgium as now.
I don't know if I'm an expert in UK politics, but we have another 4 years until we have elections, and let's say so the party that supports Ukraine the least is a Reform, which is, well, you know, Nigel Farage. He knows that the rest of the population generally supports Ukraine, but I could see him aligning maybe more, or let's say following the US, and obviously, as you know, the US at the moment is not a very reliable supporter. Yeah, so it's very difficult to make a prediction. I don't see the people turn against Ukraine and pro-Russia. What the government does, if it stays with the main parties, I think that wouldn't change. But if it's reformed, then I don't know.
Well, I dare to say that Sweden will not ever give up the support for Ukraine. I dare to say that. You agree, Gunnar? Yeah. Yeah. No, it's not going to happen, because Russia has been the historical enemy of Sweden. So, no, it will never happen. There are some small parties outside the Swedish parliament that might support Russia or do not support Ukraine, but they will never, ever come in, have any influence on power. So.
Thank you. Thank you for your question, and that's reassuring to hear. And first, I wanted to ask you next. I want to ask you what message would you like to say to someone in your country who is unsure whether to support Ukraine or not, whether supporting Ukraine still matters?
I would say, like, if we don't support Ukraine now, do you really want to go to the front line, like NATO-wise, like Estonia, Lithuania? We have a pact there that if somebody of the NATO members will be attacked, we will also respond. Like, are you interested in that, or are you going to say we're going to support Ukraine to the fullest possible and make sure that they will never try it again?
I think I would say the same. A lot of people in Britain like to think that we're this island and you know, we're Great Britain, but we're now a medium-sized country in a continent of medium, like not so large countries, and the freedom and the peace that we have is only because our neighbors are also peaceful and free and independent, and so we need to support that in order, even if it's just to keep what we have at home.
Well, you can say it like this: do you want your kids to speak Russian in the future? I can't remember who said it. It wasn't, but someone said that in Sweden. It's like, if Ukraine falls, your children might be forced to speak Russian.
And I would like to. Sorry, it was turned off. I would like to add to that fact, like, Brussels is the capital of European Union, and Belgium is a very small country. I also did a sticker on the map, and I annexed Luxembourg. I apologize. That was nothing we normally do in Belgium, but yeah, people don't know that like the impact of like a missile is very big, or a Shahed attack. Like, Belgium is like really small, and we just could be the next target from them. And also the port of Antwerp, where all the aid from America comes from, is or Rotterdam or Antwerp, and that will be the next target for them.
Thank you for your answers. And one more question that I have is how has your involvement in Ukraine, with Ukraine, impacted you personally? maybe emotionally or changed your worldwide views somehow? Have this changed it, or how it impacted you?
I have learned to know lots of beautiful, wonderful people. That's how it's affected me. But I don't know if that. I don't know if it's has affected me more than it's. Sometimes when I see things like when we went to the cemetery today, when we were walking there and there's a woman sitting next to a grave crying, it's like, yeah.
I mean, ideas-wise, maybe it's reinforced the feeling that democracy and independence is something that is really worth fighting for, and sometimes you physically have to fight for. And then on a personal level, I didn't think that one day I would start trying to learn Ukrainian, and я хотів говорити українською, але я ще не можу. So I'll continue in English. Але дуже дякую за запрошення сьогодні.
In the West, we took like this peace and independence for granted because we were not at war for like at least 80 years, and now Europe is at war. But people still think like if I have it good, then everything's okay. But that's not the case. Like we need to help others, and also like I know a lot of Ukrainians right now, and their hospitality. And the Horilka and Salo. I think last week I was in Kiev delivering some aid, and this woman, apparently she was the head of medical, she took my hand and was like, where are we going to? So my translator was like, yeah, she wants to bring you to these two babushas for some drinks and for some food. And I had to eat something and drink something, yes. Otherwise they would be so mad. Yes, but like the generosity and hospitality of Ukrainians are unmatched in Europe, like for real. And I think that's really, really something beautiful. And also the resilience that you people showed. Like I was like watching the news, we are going to take Kiev in 3 days. I mean, the guys of the VDV could not even make it out of the baggage reclaim at Hosmo Airport. I said, like, are you trying to take it in 3 days? I'm not sure about that.
Great, thank you so much. And maybe somebody from the audience again has another question. Okay, thank you. And I have the last one. It is, as we have some of the military representatives here, and also we know, and you know, many military who we support and who are just fighting right now. And what message would you like to share with Ukrainian soldiers? Ukrainian soldiers and civilians who are here with us and who are somewhere else right now.
Yeah, I would love to tell them like I'm really ashamed about being in Belgium because we delivered not much aid to Ukraine as a country, as a government. I hope the F-16s will be delivered shortly. I'm not sure about that because they are being postponed because we bought too late the F-35s like we usually do, like in Belgium. Like all this paperwork, I'm sure you're familiar with that. It's like something we both do, paperwork. But no, there are a lot of NGOs in Belgium and in Holland also that are delivering aid through Ukraine, and we only started, so we will not stop until the end of the war, and even after that we will still provide you with aid. So we got a lot of more to come as NGOs to deliver to Ukraine. I'm not sure about the government, but there are a lot of people supporting you guys from abroad.
To the soldiers, I think I just want to thank you, to say that I really admire that you're fighting so hard for your country, but you're also defending Europe, the rest of Europe. So thank you.
First, I want to thank all you soldiers here. You are in the front line of freedom and the fight between a rule-based order and freedom and dictatorship. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry, dziękuję. And also, I think it's fantastic. I was thinking of a story when you were talking here before. We were down in Mykolaiv, and we went out to two villages that had been bombed by the Russians. And when we were walking there, it was very hot, and I needed something to drink. And I went into a store. There was three older women my age, 64 years old. But I wanted something to drink, and then I got the water. And then when I walked out, I heard they were laughing. And I thought that's so wonderful that they can laugh even despite all this misery around them, all these buildings that have been destroyed. That's a kind of resilience. It's a resilience versus Putin, that you're not just breaking to saying, oh, we're going to give up. No, I think that, and like when I've been here, going out in the evenings, go to restaurants, you see people out partying, continue with that. That's what you're fighting for. That's what your fantastic soldiers are fighting for, that you can do. So I think that's so wonderful to see. Thank you.
So the last shot for the answers from for the questions. I'm sorry, from the audience. And did you came up with something? Any questions here?
She did.
Dzyga, any questions? She wants to say woof. And so before we end this Q&A, I want to give a microphone to Jonas. He has something to say to you.
Yes, where's Irina? And you come here as well.
Irina, ми тут. Irina. Anyway, I just gotta repeat that 1,000 times.
Can you help me? Yeah. Yes. Can you hold this up? In Stockholm, every Monday, which is not a holiday Monday. Oh, upside down. Upside down. Every Monday, which is not a holiday, there is something called Måndagsrörelsen, Monday Movement. So that started the week after Russia invaded Ukraine. And this was, first time it was in 1990 to support the Latvian countries becoming independent. And now one of them, Gunnar Hökmark, he's a member of parliament, and he was sick, unfortunately. But there was another guy called Fredrik Malm. He's also a member of parliament who signed this. Wow. Yes. And
he's signing it from Dzyga's.
He can read properly.
Yes. So, and then I got some other people here. This guy here. There are some Swedes. Sven Bergland. You from Sweden? Do you know who he is? He's from Refugee Hope. Yes. So he's traveling to Ukraine and doing lots of help here. And also, here's a guy called Timur. Oh, you have to. Vasily. Yes. Every Monday, when they started this meeting, he's from Ukraine. He was 12 years old in 2022. He came and asked them, may I sing the Ukraine national anthem? And Fredrik and Gunnar looked at each other. Well, we cannot sing it. Yeah. Well, you can sing. Whatever do we have to lose? So now he has been singing the Ukrainian national anthem almost every Monday since then. Yes. So I got him to sign this. So this is for you.
That's a great honor.
Should I sit down? Where? Oh.
So,
Thank you, sir. Yes. That's my pleasure.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, okay.
But it's not Russian.
Okay.
okay, so I want to finish this great conversation. Thank you, first of all, for supporting Ukraine, for donating to Dzyga and for coming here and talking with us. And please give a big, big round of applause to these wonderful people. Without you, none of this would happen. And now I'll give microphone to, I don't know.